These cinnamon peanut butter bites are a little mouthful of fun because they're a great little treat you can have when you don't feel like the big cake. I've got some sugar into the bowl to start, some coconut sugar. I often cook with extra virgin olive oil in my sweet treats. I find it really easy to cook with, and it's a lovely way to get those unsaturated fats and antioxidants into your baked goods. Then we'll get our peanut butter in. I love this peanut butter because it's a combination of smooth and crunchy, which is like the most epic combination. And it's made with delicious Aussie peanuts, super high quality, and honestly, I could just eat it from the jar. We're going to use the peanut butter again at the end to glaze the top of these little bites. Then we'll get some vanilla extract in. Oh, this one smells absolutely amazing. You can see that it's lovely and thick. And then our eggs to bind it. This is also a gluten-free treat, so it's a good one to have up your sleeve. I've got some cinnamon to sweeten these little bites, and then again, we're going to add some cinnamon at the end, so that's fun. Some baking powder, and then we'll whisk these ingredients up before we add in the rest of our dry ingredients. So it's lovely and thick and creamy. The peanut butter and the cinnamon and the sugar combo smells epic. Then we'll add some arrowroot flour, or tapioca flour it's also called. Some desiccated coconut, and some almond meal. And that's it. They're our ingredients, all beautiful, whole food ingredients, lots of variety in there. So we'll mix this up until we have a nice sticky consistency, because we're going to pop them into little balls onto our baking tray. Now, one of my favourite tricks for baking is actually having one of these ice cream scoops on hand, which you can use for your cookies or your donut balls or puffs in this case, to make life easier to portion. So we'll fill up the tray with our little cinnamon and peanut butter bites and then pop them in the oven to bake. Our cinnamon and peanut butter puffs are in the oven baking. I can smell them, they smell delicious. So we're actually going to make a glaze to go over the top, which is lots of fun. So to make it, you need a couple of tablespoons of the peanut butter again. And I'll be honest, this is a glaze that you could also use on top of muffins or cakes, but I actually really like it just drizzled over some Greek yogurt as part of a snack as well. Then we'll sweeten it with some maple syrup this time to help keep it loose, so it just sort of drizzles beautifully over the puffs. So about a tablespoon of the maple syrup, and then a little bit of nut milk of choice, or you could use dairy milk if you like, but I really like the nut milk to keep in theme with the nuts. So just like a couple of teaspoons of nut milk, and then we'll whisk it together. And just keep an eye on how thick it is. Remember, we want to be able to dollop this over the top of those cinnamon and peanut butter bites, so it needs to be quite loose to do so. But I think this is definitely one for the peanut butter lovers out there. It does come together so quickly, and it's super tasty. All right, we can keep it as thick as that, because that will frost over the bites well. Or if you've got a little bit more nut milk left, add it in. Whisk it up, and make sure you have your ground cinnamon on hand as well, because we'll sprinkle that over the top to finish. So I'm really happy with how these have turned out. They took around 8 to 10 minutes in the oven, and you can see they've puffed up beautifully. And now it's time to get this peanut butter glaze over the top. I'm actually serving these warm, which I know is unusual for a baked treat, but that's just how they are best eaten. So we get a little bit over the glaze, onto the top of each, and the heat of the actual little peanut butter bite is going to help melt the glaze over the rest of it too. So once we've glazed all of them up, we'll sprinkle them with some extra ground cinnamon, boil the kettle, and tuck in.